Good evening, everyone. I'd like to call to order tonight's Common Council meeting. Today is Tuesday, February 10th, and it is 7 p.m. We'll begin the evening with the clerk calling the roll.
Mayor Kim Smith,
Here.
Jim Benash,
Here.
Kathy Lohendorf. Here. Stephen Knott,
Here.
Mike Milkey,
Here.
Larry Jurassic,
Here.
Diane Wolf.
Alder Wolf is here.
Thank you. Item 2, Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
Of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Item 3 is the rules of the City of Onalaska Common Council and its subcommittees. This is a harassment-free forum. City Council and subcommittee meetings shall be conducted in a courteous manner. Citizens, council, and committee members shall be allowed to state their positions in an atmosphere free of slander, obscene remarks, or threats of violence. Sufficient warnings may be given by the sergeant at arms or the chair at any time during the remarks, and in the event that any individual shall violate the rules of decorum as set forth, such person may then be cut off from comment or debate. Item 4 is public input. This is the time for members of the public to address the Common Council. If you choose to do so, please begin by stating your name and your address and limit your remarks to 3 minutes. Would anyone like to address the Common Council this evening? Come up to the podium, state your name and address, and you have 3 minutes.
My name is Doug Menezes. I live at 1029 Johnson Street in Onalaska. Last Thursday, February 5th at about 4 p.m., I was walking my 2 dogs on East Avenue, about a block north of Northwoods Elementary School. Suddenly, a dog ran from behind a house, crossed the street, and attacked one of my dogs, causing my dog to lose an eye. In June 2025, this same dog attacked another dog in Onalaska, causing extensive injuries, requiring 60 stitches, and injuries to that dog's owner. Both attacks have been reported to the police and documented. The attacking dog is a female pit bull, part of a breeding pair of pit bulls living at 1021 East Avenue North. The town of Onalaska address is N4923 East Avenue North. East Avenue is heavily traveled with pedestrians, dog walkers, joggers, and grade school age kids walking, biking, and scootering to and from school twice daily. The neighborhood is now dangerous. There have been 2 serious dog attacks by this same dog within 9 months. Please do something to make sure a 3rd attack does not happen. This has been very traumatic to our family, and we don't want this to happen to anyone else. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Are there any other persons for public input? Second call for anyone wishing to give public input this evening. Third and final call for public input. Public input is now closed, and we'll move on to the report from the mayor. First up, in item A, I have appointment of Eric Scholander to the Plan Commission. His bio is in the packet, and I ask the council's approval of this appointment.
I move to appoint Eric Scholander to the Plan Commission.
Second.
Okay, motion on the floor by Diane Wolf. It's been seconded by Larry Jurassic. Is there any discussion? Not seeing or hearing any, we will vote by roll call for the appointments.
Kathy Lohendorf. Aye. Stephen Knott.
Aye.
Mike Milkey,
Aye.
Jim Benash,
Aye.
Diane Wolf.
Alder Wolf is a yes.
Thank you. That appointment passes.
Skip me.
Oh, so sorry. So sorry, Larry. So sorry, Larry. Larry Jurassic.
Yes.
Thank you.
You. Sorry about that. And I was just waiting for a pause. I should have been counting. Ugh. Okay, we're off to a good start. So congratulations to Eric. I'm sure he'll do a fine job on the Plan Commission. Item B is recognition of Obie Johnson's service on the Park Recreation and Library Board. I just want to take a minute to thank him. In this age where it is not always easy to find citizens to serve on boards, he has really been a mainstay of the Park and Rec Board, and I just want to give Dan a moment to say a couple words because I know that he really appreciates Obie and would want to have this opportunity as well to thank him for his many years of service.
Yes, Obie served 10 years on the park board, almost to the month that he started. He was instrumental when the Park and Rec took over the Omni Center. He was the scheduler for TYH and things, and just helped bridge that gap to us when we went forward. And he will definitely be missed on the board. So we appreciate his service.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for that, Dan. We definitely understand. Larry Jurassic, would you like to say a word?
Thank you, Chair. I've sat on the board for the last 4 or 5 years, and Obie is outstanding individual. I just wanted to add that to the record.
Yeah, he'll be missed. Thank you for that. Okay, item C is appointment of John Hauser to the Parks, Rec, and Library Board. His bio is also in the packet. He's been involved in our youth programs very actively, and I'm sure that I feel a high level of confidence asking you to appoint him to the board.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, motion has been made by Kathy Lohendorf, seconded by Larry Jurassic. Any discussion on that appointment? Okay, we're doing the appointments by roll call, Joanne, and I'll actually count this time.
And I'm going to do Larry first. Larry Jurassic,
Yes.
Stephen Knott,
Aye.
Diane Wolf.
Aye.
Mike Milky,
Aye.
Jim Benash,
Aye.
Kathy Lohendorf.
That passes unanimously. Thank you for that support. Item D is recognition of the Equity Transit Day, which was held this past week on February 4th. I just wanted to take a moment to call that out. February 4th is chosen in honor of Rosa Parks' birthday, and free fares on MTU were given all day long, and they had an open house at the Transit Center, and that event was very well received. So I just wanted to note that had happened, and there is a informational page in the packet as well. Hopefully some of you were able to participate in that. Item E is recognition of Pat Stevens' contribution to the region and recognizing that he has recently passed. He was instrumental in the growth and success of Rotary Lights, Irish Fest, past Riverfest Commodore, and many other regional contributions, just really exemplary in his service to our community. His visitation and services will be held here at St. Pat's on Thursday night and Friday. If anyone's looking for more information on that, it's readily available. But I also want to take this moment to let everyone know that I did receive approval from Tony Evers, the governor of Wisconsin, today. And Governor Evers has authorized both the city of La Crosse and the city of Onalaska officials to lower the flags of the United States and the state of Wisconsin flags in La Crosse and Onalaska to half staff from sunrise to sunset on Friday, February 13th to honor him. So that is going to be on Friday. Next up, recommendation for approval and/or possible action from the following committees, commissions, boards, and officials. All items listed under the consent agenda are considered to be routine and will be enacted in one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless a council member requests removal, in which event the item will be removed from the consent agenda and considered in the order of business on the non-consent agenda. Are there any items the councilors would like removed from the consent agenda? Okay. Not seeing or hearing any, I'll entertain a motion regarding its disposition.
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion on the floor by Stephen Knott. It's been seconded by Mike Milky. There shouldn't be any discussion on this item, and we're going to go to a roll call vote for the consent agenda from here going forward.
Diane Wolf,
Heather Wolf is aye.
Kathy Loendorf. Aye. Stephen Knott.
Aye.
Jim Benash,
Aye.
Larry Jurassic,
Aye.
Mike Milky.
Aye.
Thank you. The consent agenda has been approved. So we'll move on to the non-consent agenda. The first item is number 7, which is a recap of items pulled from the consent agenda. There were none. And then item 8 will move to the Finance Committee, and I'll turn it over to Mike Milky.
Thank you, Mayor. The first thing of business tonight is item 8A, the vouchers, and this is the following is a list of the monies expended since the last Common Council meeting dated January 13th, 2026. These payables include a percentage 34.75% in the 2025 compared to 35.09 in 2026 of taxes collected through January 31st, 2026. The taxing entities, and the total of this would be $16,324,308.82, and I will move to approve.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor by Mike Milky. It's been seconded by Stephen Knott to approve the vouchers as described. Is there any discussion? Sabrina, sorry.
No,
Almost
you're
missed
good.
you.
I was just going to add, this is similar to in January when I came forward. This is a very large voucher month, 15 or 16 million. Of the 16 million, 12 million of that will be going out to the taxing entities. So the school district, the county of La Crosse, the Holman School District, La Crosse School District, and the West Salem School District and Western Technical College.
Okay, thank you for that. Any other discussion? No? All those in favor of approving the vouchers, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say no. The vouchers are now approved. Back to you.
All right, on to item 8B, resolution 2026 to transfer to and from various departments in 2025 general fund budget. This was unanimously approved at our finance meeting last week, and I will move to approve as well.
Second.
Motion on the floor by Mike Milky, seconded by Stephen Knott to approve resolution 1-2026. Is there any discussion on this item? Okay, we'll be voting by roll call for all of the resolutions. So Joanne, when you're ready.
Larry Jurassic,
Aye.
Stephen Knott,
Aye.
Kathy Loendorf.
Aye.
Mike Milky,
Aye.
Jim Benash,
Aye.
Diane Wolf.
Aye.
Thank you. Resolution 1-2026 is approved unanimously.
All right, on to item 8C, resolution 2-2026 to transfer from the 2020 fund general fund budget to the special revenue fund and equipment replacement fund. Just like last one, this was approved unanimously at the finance committee, and I will move to approve here as well.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion on the floor by Mike Milky. It's been seconded by Stephen Knott to approve resolution 2-2026. Is there any discussion on this item? Okay, not seeing any. We'll have the Joanne call the roll when she's ready.
Jim Benash,
Aye.
Kathy Loendorf.
Aye.
Stephen Knott,
Aye.
Mike Milky,
Aye.
Larry Jurassic,
Aye.
Diane Wolf.
Aye.
Thank you. That resolution passes unanimously.
All right, on to item 8D, resolution 3-2026 to transfer from the 2025 general fund budget to the special revenue fund special projects. Just like the others, this was approved unanimously last week, and I will move to approve here as well.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor by Mike Milky. It's been seconded by Stephen Knott to approve resolution 3-2026. Is there any discussion on this item? Okay, not seeing or hearing any. I'll ask our clerk to call the roll when she is ready.
Stephen Knott,
Aye.
Mike Milky,
Aye.
Larry Jurassic,
Aye.
Diane Wolf,
Aye.
Kathy Loendorf.
Aye.
Jim Benash.
Aye.
Thank you. That resolution passes unanimously.
All right, on to item 8E, resolution 4-2026, authorizing the issuance and establishing parameters for the sale of not to exceed $2,675,000 general obligation promissory notes, and I will move to approve.
Second.
Okay, motion by Mike Milky, seconded by Stephen Knott to approve Resolution 4-2026. Is there any discussion on this item? Not seeing or hearing any, I'll ask the clerk to call the roll when she is ready.
Kathy Loendorf.
Aye.
Stephen Knott. Mike Milky,
Aye.
Jim Benash,
Aye.
Diane Wolf,
Aye.
Larry Jurassic.
Aye.
Thank you. That resolution passes unanimously.
All right, on to item 8F, Resolution 5-2026, authorizing the issuance and establishing parameters for the sale of not to exceed $6,200,000 water system and sewage system revenue bonds of the City of Onalaska, La Crosse County, Wisconsin, and providing for the payment of the bonds and other details with respect to the bonds. And I will move to approve.
Second.
Motion has been made by Mike Milky, seconded by Stephen Knott to approve Resolution 5-2026. Is there any discussion on this item? Not seeing or hearing any, I'll ask the clerk to call the roll when she is ready.
Larry Jurassic,
Aye.
Stephen Knott,
Aye.
Diane Wolf,
Aye.
Mike Milky,
Aye.
Jim Benash,
Aye.
Kathy Loendorf.
That resolution passes unanimously. Thank you.
All right, and on to item 8G, Resolution 6-2026, authorizing the issuance and establishing parameters for the sale of not to exceed $1,800,000 stormwater system revenue bonds of the City of Onalaska, La Crosse County, Wisconsin, and providing for the payment of the bonds and other detail with respect to the bonds. And I will move to approve this one as well.
Motion has been made by Mike Milky and seconded by Stephen Knott to approve the resolution 6-2026. Is there any discussion on this item? Sabrina.
Thank you. I was just going to add with all three of the resolutions 4, 5, and 6. At next month's council meeting, Brad Vagoot from Bayard will be here telling us our pricing and all of that of where we're currently at in the bid process. So that'll be coming next month.
Thank you for that. Any other discussion? Okay, the motion on the floor is to approve Resolution 6-2026. Please answer when your name is called.
Diane Wolf,
Aye.
Kathy Loendorf.
Aye.
Stephen Knott.
Aye.
Jim Benash,
Aye.
Larry Jurassic,
Aye.
Mike Milky.
Aye.
This resolution passes unanimously. Thank you. Thank you, Mike. Moving on to item 9, Board of Public Works and Utilities, Alder Wolf.
Thank you. Item 9A, Grandview Boulevard Water Main Project bid. This was, I understand the bid opening was today. So I'll turn it back to you to direct staff.
Sure, thank you. Jared Holter, can you give us a brief summary of where we're at and the findings of the bid opening?
Yes, thank you. We did have bid opening today at 10 a.m. With myself and the city engineer, Kevin Schubert. As you can see, we did hand out a bid opening tabulation in front of you. We did have 6 bidders today. We haven't had 6 bidders for a project in a number of years. That's a good sign for the bidding environment for us. We got some very good prices today. We had originally come to the Board of Public Works and Council with an estimated cost of approximately $335,000. We are coming tonight and recommending BKC Construction in the amount of $204,644.84. They did have a bidder's proof and were approved for the work, and they are happy to get the bid and get the work. So we are recommending them for approval.
I will move that we award the 2026 Grandview Water Main Repair project to BKC Construction in the amount of $204,644.84.
Second.
Thank you for that. Motion has been made by Alder Wolf, seconded by Larry Jurassic to approve the bid and award it to BKC as described. Is there any further questions or discussion? Alder Wolf.
Thank you. Jared, I looked them up real quick because I didn't know until we got the bid tonight. So they're out of La Crosse. Have they done work for us in the past for the city?
BKC Construction has done some smaller projects for the city. They actually are the contractor that installed the utilities on the Berlin Drive extension for the Nikolai development. So we've been out on that development all last summer and feel that their work was of quality character, so we approved their bidder's proof when it was submitted.
Okay, thank you.
Jim?
I notice there's a significant difference between them and the other five. What is the city's policy to kind of hold them to what their bid is? I mean, there are certain things that you can expect may happen, but what if they come back and say, well, we need a little bit more, we underbid it, then what?
That's an easy no. Whatever contract we have for the city, for any construction contract, we always have stipulations on what is allowed and what is not. We have contract documents that outline expectations of workmanship. We have contract documents that outline specific tasks that need to be completed. A lot of these projects, such as this, are not a lump sum contract, but there's bid items, so we have individual items to keep track of. So, in looking at their bid with the other bidders, we do see a very big swing. Part of it is, I think it works into their time frame. They basically did not have any, what I call addition for the having to get the work done quickly. We are in an expedited timeline, but they feel they can meet that, and did not add anything. But whether they were the low bid, high bid above the estimate, or whatever, we hold everybody to the same. And any change orders of significance come back through the Board of Public Works, and the council does approve them. So there's always a check and balance there if we're approving something that shouldn't be.
Thank you.
Thank you for that question, Alder Banash. Any other comments or questions regarding the project bid? Okay, the motion on the floor is to approve as described. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say no. Motion passes 6-0. Item 10, City Administrator Report. Turn it over to Rick Niemeyer, our City Administrator.
Thank you, Mayor. Again, in front of you is the report. Again, I won't read it to you, just highlight some of the things. We did the phone system interviews last week, and so we have narrowed it down to Five Star Telecom, that they will be doing the work for us. Ring Central will be our new phone system, which will be implemented sometime this spring. The Fire Protection Assessment Fee RFP deadline was today at 4. We did get 2 responses, so staff will now start taking a look at those and decide what next steps are for that. The Shared Fire Services Study, just to give you an update, we did meet again today. The municipalities did. Might need to tweak some of our scope of services. So I'm just giving an update that we met today. We'll be coming back with some additional information here in the near future. The workplace culture assessment continues. This pulse survey went out to staff on yesterday. They have until the end of the day on Friday to respond to it. It's a simple 5-question survey. It doesn't take more than a minute or so to answer. That is this round. As you may recall, we're having another more comprehensive survey done in May regarding employee satisfaction. So the results will be in, and I am doing a presentation to council in March in regards to the process that we've been going through, where we're at and where we're headed to next. So I'll have all that information for you next month. And then just an update regarding the recruitment for the police chief. Applications continue to be accepted through February 22nd.
Thank you for that. That was the updates. Item B is the council handbook. I'll go back to you, Rick.
Yeah, and actually I'm going to turn this over to Amanda. Amanda, Joanne, and I have been meeting over the past several months to talk about what the handbook looks like. As I think Amanda's original email said to you, this is such a comprehensive rewrite that doing a red line version just wasn't feasible. Quite honestly, when I started looking at the revisions, you get lost. And so we just did a comprehensive rewrite. And so what's in front of you tonight is a draft of it. And I'm going to turn it over to Amanda for some further conversation about it.
Thank you. Amanda?
We just have a couple sort of high level questions that we would like everybody to answer, and maybe we can just go around the room. But the first one is just a yes or no. And so I'm going to make this easy. If you want to raise your hand for yes or not raise your hand for no. Do you think it's too long? All right. Do you think that it's missing anything? Kim, do you want to call on people? You want me to
Oh,
call
I'm
on
sorry.
people?
Alderman Ash.
Well, actually, I've got 3 comments on what's been written, so should I wait until we're finished or?
We were not going to do an open comment period. We were just going to sort of take directed feedback based on a couple questions. But if you only have 3 comments, why don't you go ahead and give them to us?
All right, well, the first one was on it's 95, page 7, that came with
I
number 10.
do not have it in front of me even.
Okay. But it's on page 7, number 2, emails, text, and telephone calls. The second sentence says, although 2 members of a governmental body larger than 4 members may discuss, I'm not sure I understand that statement.
I think it has to do with the walking quorum.
I think that needs to be somewhat clarified as what does that actually mean?
Okay, what else do you have?
And on page 96, on the bottom of the page, excuse me, make that 97, very top of the page, this is in dark black print. Therefore, alderpersons are expected to limit their remarks on any single issue to 2 opportunities per meeting. I'm not sure I agree with that.
That is the current rule.
I read that in the other handbook, and this is the first opportunity I've had to say something.
Yep.
I've noticed at times that we've been able to say more than twice here. So if someone does say something twice, who's going to keep track of that?
I keep track of that.
And if you do, are you going to stop them and say you cannot speak?
There are times when I say this is the final time, or everyone's had one chance to speak, or I say this is the last time. Everyone is going to have one more opportunity to speak. I do try to moderate that.
Okay, and then I had one more. On page 98, number 11, placing an actionable item on the council agenda, the last sentence. An actionable item recommended for placement on an agenda may be removed from the agenda by a joint agreement of the city administrator and city attorney. On the past book, it said city administrator and the mayor. Why would you want to remove an actionable item when 2 alderpersons have already said they want to put it on the agenda? I don't understand that.
Likely only if there were concerns about the legality of the item that you had requested to be placed on the agenda.
So is that something that's, if there is an actionable item, you wouldn't just say no, you would explain why you're taking it off?
Yep.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you for that.
So we do have a few newer council members. I was wondering if and for some of you even that have been on council for a while, is there anything you wish you had known when you first got on council? It doesn't have to be in here, but is there anything that you wish we would have told you?
Okay, Kathy?
Actually, just going back to what Alderman Ash was talking about with the limitation of, and I appreciate seeing that in here. I did get an opportunity to look this over before tonight. So appreciate that being highlighted a little better. I don't know if maybe I probably just overlooked it previously, but I've noticed as well, the mayor's great about keeping track of who's had how many turns and et cetera, but I appreciate seeing that highlighted in there.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else have something they wish they would have known? Mike Milkey?
Thank you, Mayor. I guess just one other thing, not that I didn't know, but I think it was helpful the first time we went into a closed session meeting is like, hey, like this is closed session. This isn't supposed to be talked about. I think it's a good reminder to tell people that because they might not have experience in this. So I think that was something helpful for me to know that right away coming in, because like I said, it could be something where people are not familiar with that rule or what it really means.
Okay. Rick Niemeyer?
And I just wanted to follow up with Alderman Lohendorf's comment, which made me think of something. When new members in particular come onto council, you're given a lot of information. Sorry, man, I'm going off script here. You're given a lot of information, and maybe it's even a little daunting being in the position in the first place. And so when someone does maybe look at the handbook the first time around, maybe some of it just, kind of not intentionally, but just because there's a lot going on. Definitely would be looking for feedback from individuals. Doesn't have to be tonight about, we do that initial orientation. Is there some follow-up that we can do that maybe, because the first time we throw a lot at you, just again, feedback at some point in time. If you think about it, let us know if there's something different we can do to assist with maybe going through these things in more detail at a later date other than just when you're elected. So again, your comment made me think of that, so I thought I'd throw it out there. So thank you.
Okay. Any other wish you would have known? Alder Wolf.
Thank you. So this is a little bit, I'm veering back to where we started, where like Alderman Ash had some input. So this is not following in order. I did meet with our city administrator, Rick Niemeyer, before tonight's meeting, just talked about a few things, just to kind of get him straight in my own mind. The one thing I forgot to mention though to him, and I'll bring up now, is I know in the old booklet, it talks about the role of the Common Council, and it kind of goes through constituent work and that kind of thing. And if you read the new proposed one, unless I missed it, it's as if the mayor is the one who gets contacted and works with constituents, but I don't see anything in here where we talk about, that's one of our roles. I mean, if that's the case, then boy, Nicole, make me happy. I mean, so, thank you. So yeah, that was my one. And one thing that I guess I liked what it was kind of discussed, maybe with the rewrite the second time edited some few years back, was I thought it was very helpful to know, like if someone calls me and it only affects one department head, I could talk with that one department head, approach them, but if it ended up affecting two or more department heads, then the alderperson was supposed to go to the city administrator. So I think it would be really good to have just a really defining, where do we go? Not that it has not been broached on the new rewrite, but I think it just a little bit more firm up, like this is where you go. Because there's a whole lot of people in this building when you first come here.
So both of those items are actually on 102, 103 under interaction with the public.
Yeah, I thought there was something, but I couldn't remember. Where is that?
And so we can look at that section and see if we need.
Is that like under code of conduct?
It's under communications, kind of at the very end, so.
And that must be.
Okay.
Section
So
7.
yeah. So Diane, if you will look at that and then give staff or Rick or someone feedback, we appreciate that.
Thank you.
Were there any other things that people wish they would have known? Okay, Amanda, did you have any other questions?
Is there anything, along the same lines that you think is missing? Or you'd want to see more of? It's sort of a balancing act of, it's 16 pages, right? So we don't want to overwhelm somebody with too much, and it's already kind of a long document. But if there's anything that you think we didn't go into detail enough on, or that, we think is just missing, let us know.
Okay. And in the meantime, this was just a quick discussion. If you have more detailed feedback, it's certainly open to receive that to Rick.
Yeah, either Rick or I, you can set up a meeting with either one of us if you want to go through certain sections, or if you want clarification on certain things, we're happy to do that. And then we'll probably have a few tweaks and it'll be back here in March.
Okay, we'll look forward to that. Does anyone have anything else they want to say before we move on? Alderman Ash? Sure, that's okay. Alderman Ash, this is your second time, but it's a new question or a new.
It is. In the old booklet, you have exhibits. Are you going to do the same with this other booklet?
I don't think we'll have as many. We'll for sure include like a Robert's rules. There will also be a pretty cover and a table of contents. We just haven't done that yet because it's not done. But if there's any exhibits you're particularly interested in, I'm happy to attach them. Again, it's a little bit of that balancing act of overwhelming you. Like, what is going to be useful? Are you going to pull out the Robert's rules and look at it? If you are, like, I'm happy to attach. If you're never going to look at the exhibits, then it's probably less helpful. So I did try to include some of the info from the exhibits related to like motions and how to do some of those procedural things in the handbook itself.
Okay, Alder Wolf.
Round 2. We're all going to be counting tonight. Thank you, Alderman Ash. if it could be listed, whether it's at the beginning or whatever, but like when that it's a rewrite, like approved
Yep.
by what date? Because I remember when we were in the throes of it a few years back, oh my gosh, there were so many copies and I didn't know which one was which. So
We'll put that on the cover sheet.
that would
Yeah.
be really helpful. Thank you.
Okay, Alder Lohendorf?
Also round two. I actually appreciate the depth that it goes into. I know that 16 pages can definitely seem like a lot, especially when you are getting a lot of information, but I think having that extra information as a resource is great. I would love to see, given that it is a little bit longer, maybe like a table of contents or
Mhm.
something, just as an easy reference. I'm sure you're already thinking of it, but
Okay, thank you, everyone. Amanda, do you have anything else you want to add?
No, but Mike wants.
Mike, go ahead.
One thing,
Mike Mussey?
just curious. So I know one thing that really helped me when I first came in was meeting with all the department heads. Is there like a requirement that we want to have in here about that, where that should be something we're doing, or is that just of a good faith we should be doing that?
I think whether we encourage that as part of that orientation or whether we, write it in here, I think that's good feedback that we can incorporate.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And again, this doesn't have to be the end of the discussion. You can still continue to talk to staff, but I think we'll be ready to move on to the next item, Rick.
Sounds good. The next item on the agenda is regarding the new date for Staff Success Day. Excuse me. In your packet, there was a memo that talked about the date that after speaking with department heads, we all settled on the fourth Thursday in August. And so what we would be asking for council to consider and approve is that would be the new date starting in 2026, which does result in City Hall and other appropriate buildings, city buildings being closed for business to the public so that staff can attend this day. So I guess the memo kind of describes it. We've talked about this once before, and I'll take any questions.
Are you looking to have this approved?
Correct, yes.
Okay, I'll open it up for if someone wants to put a
Move to approve.
Okay.
Second.
motion on the floor by Stephen Knott, seconded by Larry Jurassic to move Staff Success Day to the fourth Thursday in August. Discussion. Alder Benash.
I noticed that it says Employee Training and Recognition Day. Is this something that there's going to be required training, or is this going to be a day off?
Staff are expected to attend this unless they have some other pre-approved, whether it be a medical situation or if they have a pre-approved vacation day already scheduled. But otherwise, they are expected to be in attendance.
Is that going to be held here then at the hall or someplace else?
This last year, we did at the Dash Center, and that's where our intent is to do again next year, or this year, I should say.
All day?
It is. Yep, 8 to 4:30.
Larry Jurassic.
Yeah, what's the percentage of people that'll be attending? 80% or does it have some staff on?
Correct. I mean, there are some staff that do have to work, particularly in police and fire. If there's a call and that Public Works has to respond to. So there are, if payroll needs to be done at any given time frame. So there are certain staff that do have to attend to work. Amy has told me what that percentage is, and I'm not recalling it off the top of my head. So
Roughly around 80% probably, yeah.
I think that's a fair estimate.
So Rick, for clarity, City Hall would be closed to the public that day?
That is correct.
Any other questions or comments? Okay, the motion on the floor is to approve the new date for Staff Success Day. The date is the fourth Thursday in August. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say no. Motion passes unanimously. Thank you. Back to you, Rick.
Thank you. Next item is the Looking Back, Focusing Forward, the City of Onalaska Annual Report 2025 to 26 presentation. You'll have in front of you the annual reports that I prepared, put it in front of your chairs before the meeting began. So this is something that I had been thinking about for some time when I started working for the city. Just tried to do some kind of a report that's kind of all encompassing to kind of show the things that we've been doing over the year, what things are coming up. It really is one of those items where, providing information to the public, to the elected officials, quite frankly, to our staff as well, in regards to things that we do over the year. So when I started putting this together or thinking about this, I reached out to the departments and asked them to provide me with the accomplishments from 2025 and what was coming up for their departments in 2026. Quickly learned that this was either going to be a 30-page document or I needed to whittle things down just a tiny little bit. And I bring that up because I want to make sure that all staff know that while there may not be everything in the report, all of our accomplishments, everything that they do are important and should be celebrated. And so just because it may not be in the report doesn't mean that it's any less meaning by any means. So at some point you had to have a cutoff in there somewhere. So prepare the report. Again, the goal is to kind of provide information to the public and to staff and elected officials. Just a couple comments. I'm not going to go over the report. I'm not going to go through the details of it, but I just want to make a couple comments about the report. The looking forward or looking back, focusing forward, obviously that means looking back at 2025, but then focusing forward ahead. The other significance from my perspective and why I use that is because, where we are today is largely due to where we have been. And that's not just 2025, but it's all the years prior to that as well, too. So where we want to go in the future, we have that foundation of what we've built to today. And so that's why I thought that had some other meaning besides just the simple looking back at 25 and looking forward at 26. And then another thing you'll notice when you read the report is there's two primary themes throughout: community and our employees. And when it comes to the community, again, I didn't use the word residents, and that was for, again, very specific purpose. When we make decisions here at the City of Onalaska, our primary consideration are our residents. However, our decisions do not impact only our residents, and they go much further than that. Whether it's a business owner who doesn't live in the city but has a business here, whether there are visitors coming here to go to our restaurants, go to our stores, or even come here for recreational purposes, or even our employees for that matter. The policies that we establish, or when they see what surrounding communities and even the private business industry is doing, what we do impacts them in so many different ways. And so that is one aspect of why I use the word community versus residents. Again, residents are our primary consideration, but because our decisions impact so many others outside of just our residents, that's why community was a focus throughout. And then employees, of course, again, employees are the backbone of our organization. Without them, we can't provide the services that we are providing. And so why we try to do as many things as we can. This past year, we modified some benefit policies. We are doing the culture assessment, a workplace culture assessment, doing the wage review. All of those things we're doing to try and help, solidify us being one of the top employers that people want to come to in our region. So those were just a couple of things I wanted to point out. There are a lot of accomplishments in there. I pointed out two of them as what I call feature accomplishments, really because they really shaped, in my opinion, the landscape of what Onalaska is looking at going forward. The Dash Center, that really is a new multi-generational facility that really has become that third space. And I know Kim's familiar with that. I'm sure others are as well. A local artist, Rick Kite, would write about this often, the third space, you have your home, you have your work. Where's that third place where people can gather together and feel comfortable and feel safe? And then the transition to our new ERP system, again, not as flashy as a new community center, I get it, but it literally touched every aspect of our city operations. It impacted our community, it impacted our employees, it just impacted everywhere. So again, while everything is important, those are just a couple of things I wanted to point out. I do touch on the challenges in there, nothing new, recruitment and retention, funding options. I do want to point out the city funding group has been something that was in 2025. We will continue doing that in 2026. I'm going to rename it, though, as the Financial Sustainability Work Group. When I did that sustainability class this summer with the UWL students, attended there, I just thought it was kind of an interesting concept. And so thought that would be a good incorporation of using some of that into what we do here at the city. So again, a lot of accomplishments to celebrate, a lot of things coming up in 2026. That we're to be proud of. After you review the report, if you have any questions about anything or have any comments about anything, certainly feel free to reach out. I just want to take this opportunity again to thank all staff for everything that they do. Again, without them, we couldn't do the things that we do. And I also want to thank all the elected officials as well. Obviously, guiding decisions and what we do here at the city are important as well. So just want to thank everybody for a very productive 2025 and looking forward to 2026. Thank you.
Thank you for that, Rick. Do you have anything else?
No.
Okay. Will bring us to Item 11, discussion and possible action on the city administrator contract renewal. The common council may convene in closed session under section, let's see, what is it? 19.851C of the Wisconsin State Statutes for the purpose of considering employment, promotion, compensation, or performance evaluation data of any public employee over which the governmental body has jurisdiction or exercises responsibility. The council may then reconvene in open session to take the necessary action and/or continue with the printed agenda. If no action is taken, the common council may adjourn from the closed session. Amanda, do you want to add your normal commentary about why we need to go into closed session, or do you feel that covers it sufficiently?
I think that covers it sufficiently. As everybody here is probably aware, the contract for the city administrator expires this year. And so we always want to get that on an agenda in enough time to get that, figured out before it expires. And so that's what you guys are going to do here tonight. Jessica Kirschner is here on behalf of the city. She's going to walk you through that in closed session. And so she'll be able to answer any other questions that you have.
Thank you for that. That being said, I'll entertain a motion to go into closed session.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion on the floor by Stephen Knott. It's been seconded by Mike Milkey to go into closed session to consider the city administrator's contract renewal. The voting will be by roll call. Joanne?
Larry Jurassic,
Aye.
Stephen Knott,
Aye.
Kathy Loendorf.
Aye.
Mike Milkey,
Aye.
Jim Benash,
Aye.
Diane Wolf.
That motion passes unanimously. We are in closed session. The time is 7:47.